UFC 316 is over. A couple good results on there. The main one I wanted to talk about is, of course, the main event, Merab versus Sean O'Malley. Now, I was rooting for Sean O'Malley in this fight, but obviously it never went our way. Sean O'Malley had the right game plan, but I just feel like he executed it wrong, and he made a mistake in the third round, which cost him the fight. Now, it started off quite promising, to be honest, for Sean O'Malley. I thought he had some great movement in the first round. He was going to the body like we expected. He was landing a couple kicks, front kicks. He was even dropping down to throw that right hand, which Merab capitalized off a few times. He started pushing him back and flurried. And then when that was happening, I was expecting Sean O'Malley to land that right hand that he landed on Aljo. I thought it was coming. I thought that was maybe the plan. But it never came. He couldn't get it off. And then by the time the round ended, Merab got a takedown. To my eyes, I thought Sean O'Malley won. Maybe I'm just biased. But after I looked at the stats, it looked like Merab was outstriking Sean O'Malley, not just in round one, in literally every single round. It looks like first round, Merab only landed 17 and Sean O'Malley landed 12. But obviously, I mean, like, when I was watching it live, I didn't really think Merab won that round, to be honest. I understand people give it to him because of that takedown, but I didn't see that takedown do much for him because he landed a couple decent elbows and stuff from it, but I felt like Sean O'Malley was the more damaging the entire fight. So I gave that round to Sean O'Malley. I mean, it doesn't matter now. He lost the whole fight. And maybe I am biased, but yeah, first round, I gave it to Sean O'Malley. The people I was watching it with gave it to Merab. Same thing in the second round. I think it was more of a promising round for Sean O'Malley. Same thing again as round one. Sean O'Malley had some great movement, some of the best in the UFC. Sean O'Malley's movement is like second to none. And I think he does it the best in the UFC. I don't think there's anyone that comes close. Because you'll see a lot of people who switch stances just for the sake of it almost. It just completely changes the angles that the shots are now coming from. But yeah, he was doing that the entire round. He has like I said, some of the best movement. He was going to the body again. He would dip down, throw a right hand to the body. It will work for him because I'm guessing he would throw it just in case Merab wants a counter off of it down. So he's already low and his whole body's in position, maybe to get an underhook or something. Merab would push him back with it. He would push him back, and then in the first round he was getting takedowns. In the second one, Sean O'Malley was able to stuff the takedowns, but Merab was getting some decent work off in the clinches, and again Merab outstruck him. Because with the significant strikes, they kind of can't count like every little tap that you do as a significant strike. Merab likes to get in the clinches and throw these little shots that don't do any damage. It might annoy you a little bit, but it accumulates over time, but they count as a significant strike. I felt like Sean O'Malley was the more damaging fighter in the second round, and I gave the second round and the first to Sean O'Malley. And then we get to the third. Now, third round, Merab gets an early big takedown, picks him up on his shoulders, dumps him on the ground, and then controls him for the whole round. That's just how the whole round goes. But one thing with Sean O'Malley is, I feel like he's got such low fight IQ. He's a very, very talented fighter, but I feel like with him and Tim Welch are such a bad combination because both of them are such low IQ coaches and fighters. They're just why would you try to get up in the third round when there's 20 seconds left? I don't understand, especially against a guy. I mean, well, I'll take that back because Merab doesn't get subs, and the funny thing is DC at the time was telling him to get into these positions because Merab's not a submission threat, and then 5 seconds later Merab gets a submission. But why would you try to do that? Why would you try to put yourself in such a dangerous position when there's only 20 seconds left? You've lost the round, you got dominated the entire fight, you lost 10-9. Why wouldn't you just try to stay down? But yeah, and then Sean O'Malley lost. Merab beats him for the second time. Now he can't make another excuse saying that he won the fight. This one, he didn't leave it to the judges, choked him out the third round. Merab has secured himself as the bantamweight GOAT now. There's no question about it. The only thing I feel like is going to beat him is his age now. He's 35, he's getting on a bit. He doesn't seem to be like he's slowing down at all. I feel like he's getting better. Now he's in his mid-30s. Let's see. I mean, I feel like there's one guy that can beat him, and that's Corey Sandhagen. That's another video for another day. Like, if we just go through everyone that he's beaten, his fight record is absolutely out of this world. I think the quality of opposition that he's beat. Yes, he's not getting knockouts and submissions, and he's not finishing his opponents. He's beating them by decision, usually quite convincingly. He doesn't dominate like Khabib does. He doesn't finish guys, but he beats like high level opposition. He's beat O'Malley twice now, choked him out. He's beat Umar, who is he's an absolute phenom of the division, and he beat him very convincingly. Like I thought it would be very close. There was no question about it that Merab won. He won like 3 out of the 5 rounds at least. And Sean O'Malley beat him. It wasn't close at all, but Sean O'Malley was trying to make it seem like it was close. He beat Sean O'Malley quite convincingly. He beat Henry Cejudo, who is a absolute legend of the sport. Yeah, he's getting on a bit now, but even then, he beat him, dominated him for 3 rounds. Or maybe it was the second and third, but first round was very close. But he still dominated him. Second and third round, yeah, absolutely dominated a legend like Henry Cejudo. Peter Yan, the way he dominated Peter Yan, he got like 30 takedowns. That's mad. And this is just, this is his last 6 fights. Jose Aldo, he couldn't take down Jose Aldo though. That just shows how good Jose Aldo is, but he was able to control him for 3 rounds. These names, like, I don't think anyone else on the roster comes close. In the last 6 fights, who's a current champion, not even Islam, I would say. Like, these are the best names that he could beat in the division. If Corey Sandhagen doesn't beat him, then he's just gonna go through the division and just do a second lap round the division, like Kamaru did. He's just the next. I think there's no question about it that he's the GOAT now. That's one thing that this UFC 316 has confirmed, if anything, is that Merab is the bantamweight GOAT. And you know what it is? I'm starting to like Merab. He's a proper likable guy and a solid fighter. Like, if you look at the stats, he's like, people say he can't strike. He's just a grappler, but he's outstruck one of the best strikers in the entire sport. He outstruck Sean O'Malley pretty comfortably. He got way more strikes than he did, so there's no question about it. Now, if we go on to the next couple fights as well, it was a good card overall. Pena versus Harrison, pretty good fight. Pena got beat up by Harrison like a man. Yeah, Amanda Nunes next. Amanda Nunes is big. I want to actually see that fight. That's a mad fight. But Harrison, man, I don't know what she's on. She's moving like some Brock Lesnar. She's definitely on steroids. But yeah, absolute savage beating. And the way she like got the Kimura and just pulled her hand back was disgusting. It was about to break. It just shows the level. It just shows how much strength she has compared to Pena. Pena looked like a little girl in there with a big man. It was absolute domination. Python versus Gastelum, good fight. Python let Gastelum get back into the fight in the later rounds. Python's got a lot to work on, to be honest. He was just looking for big shots throughout the whole fight. Now this fight, Patchy Mix versus Batista. Everyone was hyping up Patchy Mix, but I've just lost all hope in these Bellator guys. When they come from other organizations, they're just always terrible now. Like, they're just so overhyped. This is like the elite level of MMA, and it's like any guys coming from any other organization isn't going to be that good. I don't know why people expected him to be so good. Them days are over. It's just UFC is just miles ahead of every other organization. Now, there's been a recent conversation about the level of athletes in the UFC, like the very low level athletes, and bringing guys like Patchy Mix. Now, he's probably a top level athlete, but if you just look at him, he just doesn't look like one. He's got terrible posture. I don't know what that's all about. If you watch the entrance, this guy looks like he's got some gamer's neck. His thighs are like skinny like my arm. It's like, where does the power come from? Where does the athleticism come from? And he had an overall terrible performance. I think it was the jitters, to be honest. He's fighting at the elite stage now. He's fighting in an elite event in the UFC. Probably just got to him, but he was just stiff. He couldn't get out the way of a punch to save his life. He was just stiff. He was getting hit with everything. It looked very low level, very unathletic. Maybe it was the jitters, so let's see in his next match. Hopefully the UFC don't cut him yet. But yeah, I'm just sick of these Bellator guys coming in and and everyone hyping them up so much. It's just like, and they always let us down. They're not good. That's why they're not in the UFC. And that's why it takes them so long to get in the UFC. The level of competition is not like how the UFC is. They're used to fighting a much lower level of opposition. And it shows when they come to the UFC. Actually, to be honest, MVP is the only one that's actually doing pretty good at the moment. But the rest, yeah, they all suck, man. Kevin Holland versus Luque. Happy for Holland, he won. Back onto winning. Hopefully it stays like that. Joshua Van and Bruno Silva. Sick fight. Joshua Van is quickly becoming a fan favourite. Puts up bangers near enough every single fight. But he never comes out of a fight scarred or bruised, or it doesn't look like he's been in a fight. And yeah, he got a pretty good stoppage this fight. Happy for him. He's only 23 or 24 or something. Yeah, can't wait to see him next. Azamat looked good. I thought Spivak won this one. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a robbery, but yeah, Spivak looked decent, to be honest. He didn't look too bad. Better than his previous performances. And I mean, he's still young, so he's still got a lot to learn. He's only 30 and he's a heavyweight. So yeah, that's like a baby for the division, man. Gustafsson is an absolute savage. He was coming forward like a train the whole fight. Vikings don't watch tape. This guy is an absolute savage. Can't wait to watch him again. Wang Kong, some pretty good calf kicks. Mashed up Silver's leg. But yeah, pretty dominant performance. Oh, probably the knockout of the night. Wasn't he the one that was on that Korean zombie? It was that Korean zombie show, and then it was that guy who got a contract from the press conference, and he asked for a contract, and Dana White gave it to him, put him on the show, and then he lost. But yeah, he's solid, man. He's 31. He's getting on a little bit. I mean, nowadays 31 is very young, ain't it? But yeah, he's a savage. Can't wait to watch him again. Sal killed, great performance. I thought it was a wicked fight. I loved that fight. It was just back and forth. Gave first two to Sal Kid. He fell off a little bit in the third, and then Yanal Ashmuz came in the third and put it on him a little bit. But yeah, Sal Kid held his own. Very good fight. Menderos versus Mark Choinsky. Choinsky's debut. I thought Choinsky was going to win, but Menderos had a very, very good game plan. Was killing that leg of Choinsky. He couldn't really do much after that. Like, he was just falling all over the place. But early on in the fight, Choinsky was getting a few back takes. He was in some decent positions. But yeah, Menderos, very good. Stayed on the outside, ate up that leg, and Joe Rogan was happy. And that's it for this card. What's next for these two? I can't wait. Merab is going to be fighting Corey. That is a fight I absolutely can't wait for. Sean O'Malley, there's a few guys out there for him. It's just when he comes against these wrestlers, he just has a big problem dealing with their grappling. But he's absolute savage on the feet. Uma maybe, but Uma is another stylistic nightmare for him. But yeah, let's see. There's a lot of fights in bantamweight, man. Bantamweight is probably the most competitive division at the moment. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for Sean O'Malley to build his way up for another title fight. So many guys out there, man. So many killers in that division. But yeah, he's only young. He's 30 years old, so he's got time.